Veterans of the wrestling business now, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, are we grizzled vets?
No, you're not grizzled
Well,
veterans
this is what
yet.
I was saying before is I think our big toe is in grizzled territory.
Okay.
Grizzly, maybe.
I'm trying, we're trying to get the grizzled.
So I mean, wrestling always has ups and downs, right? And when we started the show and when I first met you guys, it was clearly a high. I mean, we're talking late 90s when wrestling re-exploded onto the scene. It's not doing quite as well right now. You guys have seen it all. You've seen it from many different perspectives. What would you do to take it to the next level?
For me, wrestling is a cyclical business, always has been. I grew up being a fan of this. We both did, and we would go to shows when it was packed with Hulk Hogan and Kamala. We would go to shows when there was 1,500 people at Maple Leaf Gardens. It goes up, it goes down. I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason. I think one person will come and explode, like Austin did,
Which
like
is what
Hogan
you
did,
need,
like
right?
Rock did.
You got to have the guy.
Yep.
And you guys are tremendous technical wrestlers. I mean, that's one of the things that's always admired, your technical abilities, your abilities now with the microphone. You guys are great, but I think it would be a big leap, even sitting here with you, to say either one of you guys is going to take wrestling, you know, to the stratosphere once again. But a guy like Brock Lesnar, there was the feeling that maybe he could have done it. Then he left to go play football. Now word is that he wants back in. Can he come back in the locker room and have credibility?
Maybe credibility. I wouldn't have anything against him, but I think guys who made him one of the players might.
But guys like you worked
so.
hard to get him over, right?
Yeah,
and then he took off. Did you feel betrayed?
Actually, I was on Raw, he was on SmackDown, so I didn't even really see him the months leading up to when he had left.
We don't get SmackDown in Canada, so
oh,
okay.
sorry, but
I'm kidding.
I think that if I was in that locker room on that side, and I was one of the guys that put him over, I definitely would have.
I mean, to me, honestly, he wasn't going to be a guy that was going to make it explode. To me.
I don't think so either.
He didn't have the verbal ability to do it. He didn't have the personality to do it. Physically, he was awesome.
Impressive.
And you need
so
both.
So you looked at it and kind of thought they're hanging too much on this guy.
I knew they were.
Really?
So it wasn't a big deal to me when he left. I didn't think it was a huge gaping hole. Writing-wise, he was a huge part of the show, but I didn't see it as being, okay, there's a Stone Cold. That wasn't the case.
What did you think when you
try
first
and
saw
look too hard for the next Stone Cold, you're not going to find it. That's all there is to it. It's got to happen. And I think RVD, when he first came in, could have possibly, if he was used correctly, and I think John Cena possibly with the gimmick. I don't know how long it would last, though, with that gimmick.
Randy Orton, did they put too much into him? Too many hopes early on?
I don't think so. I think Randy has a lot of ability. He's got a big future. I think that it's just he did great when he was, you know, a heel, and now that he's turned more of a babyface. It's harder to try to get your feet under you and then really, you know, get the fans. It's so hard to be cheered these days.
You know, for years, right, it was Vince's company. Like, if I said, whose company is this? There's not one guy who's not going to say Vince, even if you don't follow wrestling. Is it Triple H's company now?
Still Vince's. Still Vince's. It still boils down.
What's the sense of Triple H to guys? Well, you specifically. What's your take on him? Because he really is. He's the lightning rod now for a lot of great things and for controversy and for a lot of criticism and for a lot of jealousy, for sure.
I think he's going to get the criticism just because of, you know, he's married to the boss's daughter. You know, he's you know, said that he's a part of creative and stuff like that. So I mean, that comes with the territory, right? I mean, he's going to get criticism whether it's warranted or not. So.
Yeah, there's always going to be, when you get put yourself in that position, everybody's going to fire on you. I mean, especially the audience, especially if they don't like what they're seeing, or even if they do like what they're seeing. There's always going to be people that are critical of it. What do? I guess you just deflect it. So
it's all about finding the next guy, and almost always the next guy is a big guy, right, physically. Now, why aren't you bigger? Why don't you start juicing? Steroids. I mean, it'd make you bigger, make you stronger. Guys in your business do it.
I honestly, for me, my style, I don't think it would help me to be much bigger than what I am.
But
I get a lot of.
I think that's a fallacy, because you see a guy like Shawn Michaels or a guy like Bret Hart who went to the top of this industry, and they were, I mean, athletic guys, in shape guys, but not 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Right, but also I believe that there are many guys that you see in the ring, and history has documented that have been juicing, right?
Well, I think, yeah. I mean, in any sport.
Wrestling in any sport, but wrestling's the one sport that doesn't deny it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the only industry where, okay, it's there, nobody really talks about it.
But if you wanted to do it, if you wanted to get bigger, you're not tested, right? That would be your choice.
I mean, they have random testing like any.
But it would be.
Now, is that testing to see if you're doing it, or to encourage you to do it if you're not?
No, I mean, I don't think they'd never encourage anything like that.
I was kidding.
So.
Okay. I was kidding.
I've never been encouraged, but yeah.
Have you ever juiced?
I have. Yeah. Yeah.
And why'd you stop? if you stop.
I didn't like the way I got to the point where I didn't feel comfortable in the ring. To me, I wanted to be able to just go. And I would get winded too quick, and I didn't feel good. There was too many things going on that I didn't feel good.
Oh, I didn't say now. I mean, clearly there's two guys on this set that aren't juicing right now. Have you ever tried it?
What's that? What?
Okay, let's go to break. As we go to break, we want to know your thoughts and your questions. And I just had a decent one. It worked pretty well. Christian, this one's for you. Maybe a little easier. Who are your favorite writers and bookers? How much input do you have into your storylines? Why don't you answer that one, OTR return? For you, Edge, and again, you can answer it later on. No, I'll read it for you. You don't have to. You're moving your lips. How much of the frustrated wrestler being hosed by Triple H is based on reality?
Hosed.
We'll talk about that next. You know, this is so much fun. Two genuine guys sitting here that grew up together, that have fought battles together. Edge and Christian. Great to see you guys. Adam and Jay, more importantly. And congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
Nothing Canadians
Thanks.
like more to see than to see Canadian do well in the United States, as you guys have.
That's what I always say. It's like no matter where we go in this country, it's like our hometown. It's like hometown boy done good type thing. So.
I always seem to get booed, though.
You always seem to get booed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seem to.
I do too now.
And with two good-looking guys like you, I don't know how anyone could possibly boo you.
Have you looked really closely?
Yeah, I was. It was sarcastic. It was sarcasm. Christian,
Yeah.
writers and bookers, who do you like?
I think we were kind of talking about this during the break, and it was
Just so you know, we never talk about what we talk about during the break.
okay, we weren't.
Never. We weren't talking about anything during the break.
Exactly.
Okay, well, maybe I was just talking to myself.
Yeah, right.
But
So,
well, sometimes, like I said, there's so many people collaborate on it. Sometimes you don't even know.
Really?
You know who writes what or whatever. I mean, there's a kind of a little committee.
There's a team.
But I do when my promos and my backstage skits and things like that. A lot of times I collaborate with a guy named Brian Gewirtz, who.
cool.
He was instrumental. in the
And you,
whole
final
NXT.
comment, the question for you?
The frustrated. I mean, there's definitely truths in any character that works. You take truths that you actually feel. I feel I deserve the world title. I feel I deserve a world title shot. I feel all of that stuff. I take it and turn it way up. That's all.
I feel one other thing. Our time is up, but I love seeing you guys continued success. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me.
Michael Landsberg's clothing provided by Victorinox, Swiss Army. Available at Sporting Life in Toronto and better specialty stores across Canada.